Virtual reality is something that's becoming more common these days in gaming. In fact, it's actually taken off, which is something I never thought would happen after the Virtual Boy. But I guess the technology for it to be done properly exists now, and Rockstar have not only worked with it once with LA Noire, the VR case files, but they appear to be working on something related to VR again. The group who assisted Rockstar with the development of LA Noire the VR case files, the Sydney-based Video Games Deluxe, made a post on LinkedIn which indicates that they're working with Rockstar again to bring a game of theirs to VR. The post says the following: "Having finished the critically well-received LA Noire the VR case files, we are now gearing up for a new project, a AAA open-world title in VR for Rockstar. 2020 marks our 7th year of working exclusively for Rockstar in Sydney, and we are excited to be taking on this groundbreaking project." The post goes on to state that they have job openings at their Sydney studio and are looking for senior programmers, an engine programmer, designer, and an animator. So clearly, whatever they're working on with Rockstar, like any Rockstar game, it's going to be a massive undertaking. And going by their LinkedIn profile, while they're still hiring new people, they're nonetheless a very small company made up of anywhere from 1 to 10 employees, if the size description is correct. Whatever title it is that's being worked on, Rockstar is obviously behind the bulk of it, and Video Games Deluxe is likely yet again responsible for taking what's there and making it suitable for virtual reality. What we're all thinking next is, what game is this gonna be? Personally, I think it's pretty likely that this is going to be GTA 5. We already know that we're getting a PS5 release out of them, and we all know that it's going to be expanded and enhanced in some fashion. I think giving the game virtual reality support could possibly be one of its main selling points for why you should buy the game for a 3rd or 4th time, or maybe 5 times depending on how many platforms you have. Think about it. The release of GTA 5 for the PS4 and Xbox One came with not only the enhanced visuals and more music added to the soundtrack, but we also got a brand new first-person mode with it. When this was revealed, it did get a lot of people talking about it, and I'm sure a lot of people were excited to replay the story and experience GTA from a first-person perspective. When I got my PS4, my copy of GTA 5 came with it for free, and I even played through the story again entirely in first person, just because it was a somewhat new way of experiencing the game. Given how first person was originally meant to be a camera mode in GTA 3 and not just something you could activate only when you're standing still and moving the analog stick around, this was a pretty big thing at the time to be introduced into GTA. I could see the next-gen version of GTA 5 using VR as the big reason for why you should buy the game again. Now, I'll say this, VR would definitely be one way to spice the game up again. After all, at its core, it's still a game from 2013. I wouldn't be surprised to see the same vehicle damage or driving physics or the euphoria physics to still be the same instead of being more like they were in GTA 4 or Red Dead 2. But virtual reality support and adding a new layer of immersion is something that they could use to get people excited about the game again. Especially since I think we all know how the story goes by now, and I'm not going to turn this into a GTA 5 rant video. I think you all know what I think of it by now. Now I think it's time for some wishful thinking. I kinda wish it would be a remaster of GTA 4. I was just talking about this the other day on a stream, and I feel like while GTA 4 still looks really good visually, some elements of it are starting to look a little bit dated. Imagine GTA 4 with drastically improved lighting, higher quality textures, and for those of us who are PlayStation 4 owners and who might possibly end up as PS5 owners, just being able to play it on a modern console would be nice. And hell, imagine playing GTA 4's story with a VR headset. Just imagine how much more immersive the game would feel with that. No more janky first-person mods on the PC version. Like this one, in which Recursion on Discord was kind enough to provide footage of. A proper first-person or VR mode would look amazing. Imagine all the cutscenes from a first-person perspective. And VR bowling. One can dream. All in all, what I'm saying is that I think that game definitely deserves a modern-day re-release, and it always did strike me odd that LA Noire would get an enhanced port and a VR version instead of a fully-fledged GTA title. Not that I'm against LA Noire, since that's a fantastic game and Team Bondi did an amazing job with it, but it's just kind of funny how Rockstar decided to go with that game for a modern-day port. It almost feels like maybe it was a test for future VR titles of bigger games. And clearly, even though we don't know what it is yet, obviously, whatever it is that's being worked on is going to be a big game. But I still think it's going to be for GTA 5. If it is, would this change your opinion on the game getting yet another release on the next-gen consoles instead of us getting an entirely different and most likely new game? Would VR actually be a selling point for you, or would you continue to just go about your business and wait for GTA 6 to hopefully come soon after? Personally, I think VR would be a cool thing to see for GTA, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still going to be the exact same game you've played before, and the fact that online is probably going to still take precedence over single player after it's been out for a little while. I'd still enjoy trying it out in VR, but I wouldn't go and rush to buy a VR headset just for that one game. I didn't even do that for LA Noire, probably because I'm afraid of it potentially giving me headaches or motion sickness, but I'll admit it still looks incredibly fun, and having your character just dance around in a mirror does add a new layer of immersion. I want to say one more thing. Rockstar obviously have a good relationship with Video Games Deluxe if they're using this company again for the making of the VR version of whatever title they're having them work on. If whatever they're working on next does turn out to be a major hit, wouldn't it be funny if Rockstar bought them out and turned them into Rockstar Sydney? Rockstar initially considered doing that with Team Bondi, but they quickly dropped that idea and only bought the LA Noire IP after Team Bondi fell apart. Kind of a messy situation with that. But now, almost 10 years later, who knows, Rockstar could end up getting a Sydney studio after all if nothing gets messed up. But now Rockstar is clearly open to continuing with virtual reality titles, and I could see them dedicating a new studio entirely to VR ports of existing or future games. Because we all know that Rockstar love to create immersive experiences in all of their games, but what better way is there to completely immerse yourself into one of their titles than to actually feel like you're there in all the action?